Hey everyone, Scooby-Doo here and welcome to a brand new video. This is part 3 of my 3-part series. If you haven't watched my other 2 videos, I will leave a link down below. So with the first video, remember I was talking about shelves and the different types. So this is a shelf that we're going to use to put our quarter scale Hot Toys Fett on. Now this Fett I've had for a couple years and it's one of my favorite figures, and Fett's actually one of my favorite characters. And one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite characters is not only is he a badass, but he's individual to himself. Meaning, like Darth Vader, even though he's obviously the coolest character, he kind of works under the Empire. He works under Palpatine or Darth Sidious, where Fett just kind of does his own thing. He works for himself. He does what he wants. So he can hang out with the Empire if he wants, or he can go do something else. And that's what I like about him. Plus, he's just kind of rustic and kind of dirty, and he's just cool. So I've had him for a couple years. I've actually done him on a couple different shelves, and I keep changing him around, and I just won't get rid of this guy. I just had to find a way to get him into the room, even though he's been in there a few times. So we're going to attempt to do that today with this shelf. And what we're going to use is we're going to use some rocks that I found from outside. There we go. There's the camera. We're also going to be using some moldacine, which I've used many times before. Also, too, I'm going to use the mini Mandalorian skull, which comes from Regal Robot, which is right here. Now, this skull it's kind of small. I don't know what kind of applications you can use it for. You can put it on your wall or do something else like I'm going to do with this diorama here. But they also make a large one as well. Now they make this out of a resin, some kind of resin that really does look like bone. And the weathering and everything is fantastic on it. And just to show you, this is the larger one. This one will not be going into the Empire room because it's just too big, but I will find another use for it. And just if you're wondering, this is my jetpack, at least part of it. It's missing some items. I have them in the closet, but we will be working on this hopefully in the next month or two to get that full-size Fett going. But on to today's video. Get my camera back straight a little bit. So what we're gonna do is oh, I just want to talk about the Fett a little bit. The quarter scale Fett figure by Hot Toys, I wish they would come out with more of them, but they are kind of big, so you have to have a lot of room. His detail is fantastic. Now, he did come with a stand that was part of a Jabba skiff, or one of his skiffs, which is also really cool, but really big. So that's why I decided to just go ahead and make my own little stand for him. And again, just the detail and the weathering that they did on this guy is just fantastic. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do first is I'm going to mix up some of the moldacine, and then I'm going to form a base, add some rocks, and I'm actually going to try to put this into the moldacine so it's like buried in the sand kind of look. And once I do that, we will come back and take a look at what we have, and then we'll go on from there. I would show me mixing this up, but you just mix this up with water to a consistency of like oatmeal. And then you just put it on wherever you want, and then you let it dry a little bit, and then you can form it however you want. So really forgiving, really easy stuff to work with. And again, if you have any questions regarding this, just leave a comment down below. I'll find a video where I went into more detail on how to use this stuff. All right, so I'm going to get to work, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we're back, and I went ahead and finished out the shelf for the Fett. Now you see here I have them posed with Bosk. And yes, I know Fett's not completely in the picture. And we're actually going to be talking about this Bosk. And also, too, we're going to take him down. I just wanted to show you how we were going to be posing him. Set him off to the side. Alright, so we can get a closer look at the shelf. Put it down. Let's just do this right here. Alright, so you can see I did the moldacine. and added the rocks and the skull. And then what I did afterwards, I normally do some spray adhesive and then I put down some sand and then I spray paint it. Let me get a closer look. But this time, because I didn't have any spray adhesive, I actually just used some of this white glue. Came in a 2-pack at the 99-cent store, and I actually just squirted a little bit on the base and then rubbed it in with my finger, and then I actually used a brush to kind of smear it on. Then dropped down the sand, let it dry for a day, and then did the painting. But the actual work on the shelf only took about 20 minutes. The rest of the time was just drying time. And yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I would actually prefer to have a larger shelf for how I decided to do the design. However, for size and area in which it was going, I wanted to keep it really slim. So didn't get to go all out on this one like I would have liked to. But still, I like how it came out. Now, as you saw, I had the Fett on there with the Bosk, which is right here. My initial thoughts were to do all bounty hunters because this is going next to the bounty hunter book vault. And this Bosk looks awesome, by the way. He's not really an action figure. He comes from the Unleashed line, which were basically, I think these are like 1/10 scale, kind of like same size as the Art FX. And they actually come with their own dioramas. You can see there's little pins in his feet right there. I could have very easily put him down anywhere and then secured him onto the shelf, which again, he looks awesome. Just, oh, yeah. Anyway, so he does come on this stand. And so my first thought again, like I said, because it's going next to the bounty hunter vault, was to put a couple other of the bounty hunters on the shelf. But again, the size of the shelf was just so small, it would have been too cramped. And I don't know. I decided to go another way, which was to do it more like Mandalorian and Fett. So what I'm going to be doing is actually putting another Jango Fett onto the shelf. And again, I kind of want to do Mandalorian as well. I could have done the prototype from Sideshow Fett, the all white one. It had one like here, one over here, and it could have just been Mandalorians. But again, had to go with the smaller shelf, so maybe somebody out there will take this idea and maybe do like a Mandalorian shelf or a bounty hunter shelf. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and get this up onto the wall and have everything displayed, and then we'll take a look at it from there. All right, let's go do it. All right, in our completed shelf, get a closer look. I really like how it turned out. Again, I know I've said it a few times. I wish I could have made the shelf a little bit bigger. We got Jango there posing with one of his pistols, and he's pulling out the other one, and got Fett up here looking really cool. Now this is a Metacom Jango. It's exactly the same one as, where's it at in the room? It's right over there with my prequels. The only difference is this particular Jango, I only paid 45 bucks for it because the guy's selling it on eBay. Had to change out the body sculpt. Just really like how that turned out. And again, the reason why I went with the smaller shelf is I wanted to keep something, you know, pretty close to the wall. And it just would have looked odd if I had it come out any further and much bigger. So there we go. Booked vault with their Mandalorians and bounty hunters. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you stuck to the whole video, I actually added some hidden Easter eggs. Do you know what they were? So leave a comment down below as well. Hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. All right, talk to you guys later.